Hello, and welcome to the 2020 Chief Constable's Bravery and Excellence Awards. The last 12 months have underlined the relentless and challenging nature of policing. Officers and staff continue to play a crucial role supporting the national response to coronavirus, and they have overwhelmingly discharged these additional responsibilities and duties with courtesy, with discretion and good sense. At the same time, officers and staff continue to meet the needs of all our communities, providing day-to-day policing and responding to highly demanding incidents, such as the multiple stabbings in Glasgow West George Street in June and the Stonehaven train derailment in August. Faced with crisis, criticality and chaos, policing brings composure, policing brings compassion and discipline. Today is an important opportunity to recognise and celebrate the outstanding policing which occurs all over Scotland, day in, day out. I want to thank you and your families for your commitment to public service. Thank you for your dedication to helping people and improving the lives of all our communities. Thank you for your professionalism, for your resilience and for your hard work, now and at all times. Thank you for your bravery and excellence. The relationship of trust and support which policing has with the public, from which we draw our legitimacy, has been vital during this difficult year. And it is therefore crucial that we highlight some of the remarkable acts of bravery from our fellow citizens. As Chief Constable, I am deeply grateful for the support and cooperation of our communities. I'd also like to thank Sir John Murphy, an old and close friend of policing in Scotland over many years, and Police Mutual, for their continued support of this important event. Like many milestones and celebrations at the moment, we must of necessity conduct today's awards differently from what we would normally do. But I'm clear it is vital that the policing family retains the social and emotional ties vital to maintaining and nurturing the shared purpose and mission and the relationship with our fellow citizens. Many congratulations to all the nominees and your families on this well-deserved recognition. Please enjoy today's event. Thank you very much.
Hello. It is an honour for Police Mutual to be sponsoring the Police Scotland Chief Constable's Bravery and Excellence Awards for this, the 6th year. Given the greater public recognition of the dangers officers face to keep us safe, and increasingly the personal pressures and stresses of doing so during a worldwide pandemic, these awards feel even more symbolic and important. The work that goes on across Scotland protects communities and keeps the public safe, and you demonstrate resilience on a daily basis. Your dedication is remarkable and worthy of our recognition. Each nominee is a credit to their family, their friends, their community, their colleagues, and to the police service. We are always proud of your outstanding demonstration of courage, and I'm delighted also to be able to recognise excellence in policing through sponsorship of these awards. Improving lives is at the heart of everything that we have done for over 150 years, and working in partnership with Police Scotland has been key to us being able to do this here. We continue to support the well-being of our customers and members of the police service by providing our well-being support on the ground and virtually through 2021 and beyond. I, along with all of my colleagues at Police Mutual, would like to offer our thanks to those who were nominated and for your achievements, as well as congratulations to all of the winners. Thank you and well done to everybody.
The Chief Constable's Bravery and Excellence Awards recognise police officers, special constables, police staff and members of the public who have carried out acts of exceptional bravery or meritorious conduct, over and above that which would normally be expected of them. They also showcase and reward excellence and innovation in policing throughout Scotland. The awards, sponsored by Police Mutual, formally recognise officers, staff and teams from across the service and the SPA for their outstanding contribution to keeping people safe. We begin with the Chief Constable's Bravery and Meritorious Conduct Awards. On the 26th of June 2019, Constables James Will, Alison Davis and Dale Crawford were called to a house in Cumminstown, Aberdeenshire. A man wielding a baseball bat had broken in. He had forced entry, grabbed a knife and stabbed the householder's husband. Disregarding their own safety, the three officers disarmed and apprehended the attacker and gave immediate first aid to the victim. Despite their best efforts, he tragically died. The officers' actions at the scene were exemplary and led to the assailant being convicted of murder. On the 21st of July 2019, Sergeant Laura Blameyer and Constable Michael Thompson, while patrolling the Loch End area of Edinburgh, noticed a major disturbance involving a large group. Immediately responding, they noticed a man with a serious neck wound. The alleged attacker was being surrounded by the group. As the victim was given first aid, Laura and Michael courageously placed themselves at considerable danger and apprehended the suspect. Tragically, the victim died. However, their actions in an extremely volatile situation saw the attacker brought to justice and charged with murder. On the 6th of August 2019, 11-year-old Nathan Anderson Moores and his grandfather were on a fishing trip in Eyemouth. His grandfather slipped on wet rocks, seriously injuring his leg, leaving him incapacitated. Recognising the danger, Nathan returned to his caravan where his family called 999. Nathan returned to his grandfather, using an umbrella to keep him dry. Nathan guided the emergency services to his grandfather, who was airlifted to hospital. Despite his age, Nathan showed remarkable courage. His swift and decisive actions ensured that his grandfather received appropriate treatment, leading to a full recovery. On the 30th of September 2019, Gerard Morrison was in the offices of Riverclyde Homes, Greenock. A man entered and, without warning, stabbed a customer service advisor several times. On seeing this, Gerard grabbed a chair and intervened, allowing the victim to flee to safety. He threw the chair at the man and summoned assistance. The man was arrested for attempted murder. The victim underwent life-saving surgery and continues to make a recovery. Gerard's selfless and courageous actions led to the arrest of an extremely violent offender and saved a life. On the 21st of October 2019, the Williams family were hill walking on Ben Cruachan when Suzanne slipped and fell 100 metres into a tight ravine, sustaining significant immobilising injuries. Her husband, 10-year-old son Sebastian, and sisters had no means to summon help. Sebastian descended the steep mountain in near darkness to reach his mother. Using her phone, he dialed 999, passing vital location details. For over an hour, he bravely remained at her side as she slipped in and out of consciousness. Despite his young age, Sebastian showed remarkable courage throughout, ensuring his mother received reassurance at her time of need and was rescued from the mountainside. On the 13th of November 2019, Constable Callum Forbes was called to a house in Dunfermline after an incident outside a public house. A member of the public had been stabbed and the attacker was then involved in a disturbance at the house. On arrival, Callum heard screaming from inside and, despite being alone, entered and confronted the man. In an extremely hostile environment, Callum used his communication skills to keep everyone calm until other officers arrived. His courageous actions and situational awareness led to the arrest of a particularly violent individual. On the 13th of November 2019, Natasha Huck and Robert Petrie were on Leith Shore in Edinburgh when they noticed an elderly woman sitting at the dockside with a walking aid. The woman fell into the water and was submerged. Recognising the perilous situation, they entered the freezing water without any protective clothing or equipment, pulling the woman to safety. They remained with the woman, comforting her until the emergency services arrived. Their instinctive actions undoubtedly saved the life of the 86-year-old, who went on to make a full recovery. On the 23rd of November 2019, Constables Lisa McPherson and David Fraser were on mobile patrol in Stornoway when they witnessed a speeding vehicle, which failed to stop. Shortly afterwards, they saw the vehicle had crashed into the side of a cottage and was on fire. Lisa and David approached the burning vehicle and rescued a man trapped inside. David then forced entry to the burning cottage, removing a 61-year-old woman. Both officers displayed exemplary courage, professionalism and decision-making to safely resolve an extremely serious situation. On the 22nd of December 2019, Constable James Bain and his colleagues were attempting to trace a man wanted for robbery and shoplifting in Bonnybridge. The man was spotted and a pursuit began, during which he descended a steep embankment into the river. Carried away by the strong current, gasping for air and struggling to stay afloat, James located him and unsuccessfully used a branch in a rescue attempt. Despite the clear danger, he then waded into the water and saved the man. Once on the embankment, James provided emergency medical assistance. On the 27th of December 2019, Constables Sarah Cormack and Ryan Peat attended a disturbance in Musselburgh. Seeing a damaged gate at the only vehicle access point, they used a police vehicle to block it. A speeding car approached, ramming their vehicle in an escape bid, forcing Ryan to jump to safety. Constables Lucy Langford, Rory Edwards and Robert Stewart arrived, and Lucy positioned the second police vehicle to reinforce the barrier. The officers' actions ensured the arrest of 2 dangerous offenders who were later charged with various offences. On the 16th of January 2020, Mandy Lynn from Rattray, Blairgowrie, found her neighbour urgently needing help. The woman was bathing her 12-month-old son, briefly left the bathroom and returned to find him lying on his back, not breathing. Mandy began emergency first aid, instructing the woman to call 999. Mandy told a friend to collect a defibrillator from nearby premises as she delivered rescue breaths and chest compressions. The child began breathing and opened his eyes, and Mandy continued to monitor him until an ambulance arrived. Mandy's instinctive actions undoubtedly saved the child's life. On the 29th of January 2020, Constables David Johnston and Craig Barr were at Glasgow Sheriff Court when they were alerted to a distressed woman on the ladder leading to the waterline of the River Clyde. They immediately crossed the bridge and saw the woman jump into the river. They threw a life belt to her, but she struggled to grab it. Despite the danger, David entered the water and pulled her to safety. David and Craig's actions to support an extremely vulnerable member of the public were nothing short of exceptional. On the 19th of February 2020, Constables Lisa Parker and Greg Porteous were patrolling Tranent when they saw a man holding a hammer. They approached him and he brandished the weapon at them. Using their personal protective equipment and officer safety training tactics, they tried to control the situation. He continued his threatening behaviour, entering their unoccupied police vehicle and attempting to drive off. They overpowered and arrested him. This man clearly presented a significant risk to the public, and Lisa and Greg's intervention ensured he was brought to justice. On the 23rd of April 2020, William and Georgina Anderson were walking their dog at Bishop's Glen Reservoir in Dunoon when they noticed a young child playing in the water alone. Concerned, they spoke to a man who was with the child. Shortly afterwards, they saw the boy in the water, motionless. William immediately entered the water and took him to the shoreline, where Georgina pulled him ashore. William then gave life-saving rescue breaths until he eventually regained consciousness. William's and Georgina's courageous actions undoubtedly saved the life of the child, who has since made a full recovery. On the 17th of May 2020, Constables Alan Wardrop, Phoebe Pritchard, Michael Shields and David Murdoch attended a house fire on High Street in Ayr. The 3-storey building was well ablaze. After assessing their options, Alan, Phoebe, Michael and David fearlessly entered the building, locating and evacuating residents. Due to the time of day, residents were asleep and could have easily succumbed as there were no smoke or audible alarms fitted. The courageous actions of these officers led to the rescue of several people, preventing the loss of life. On the 20th of May 2020, Constables Hilda Marcos and Kirsty Murray were carrying out door-to-door inquiries in Paisley. A man opened the door, concealing one hand behind his back. Hilda asked the man to show his hands. Kirsty noticed he was concealing what appeared to be a gun. She shouted to warn Hilda, who instinctively swiped the man's hand, knocking the firearm from his grasp. He was arrested, and further investigation revealed a teenage child living in squalor, and the man was later charged with several other offences. On the 27th of May 2020, Donald McPhee was operating the Renfrew Yoker ferry across the River Clyde. He saw a car moving down the slipway into the water, where it began to sink. The vehicle was nose down and he could see a woman inside. Donald alerted port authorities and entered the water. He bravely went underwater, took hold of the woman through an open window, dragged her to the surface and onto a nearby boat, where she received first aid. Donald's courageous actions resulted in the rescue of the woman from a clearly life-threatening situation. On the 29th of May 2020, Constables Catherine Lawson and Graham Gardner responded to reports of a man with a machete in Tillicoultry, threatening members of the public. On arrival, the man ran towards their vehicle, repeatedly striking it with the weapon and threatening the officers. Constables Lauren Allison and Scott Campbell arrived and positioned their vehicle to contain the offender. He shattered their vehicle's windscreen, covering both officers in glass. Armed officers, Constables Barry Manson and Gareth McConnell, arrived and, after repeatedly failing to comply with their instructions, Taser was deployed to ensure everyone's safety. On the 29th of June 2020, off-duty police staff Nikki Page was walking in West Lothian. Approaching a footbridge, she noticed a young man in a distressed state, preparing to jump onto the busy road beneath. Nikki engaged him in conversation and established that he had recently lost both parents and wanted to end his own life. She gained his trust and was able to lead him from the bridge. She took him to hospital and waited while he was assessed. Nikki's quick thinking and empathy provided potentially life-saving support to an extremely vulnerable member of the public. On the 11th of July 2020, William Wilson was asked to assist the police and Scottish Ambulance Service to trace a man who had suffered cardiac arrest in Glenmore Valley, an extremely remote area with no vehicle access. A gamekeeper with extensive local knowledge, William advised on the safest and quickest route to the casualty, information that was provided to the mountain rescue team. He accompanied officers to the scene. Tragically, the man passed away. However, William assisted the rest of the walking party off the hill. William's knowledge, expertise and assistance proved invaluable in this extremely difficult incident. On the 13th of August 2020, Liam Erskine heard distressed shouts at the beachfront in Stevenson in Ayrshire. A 9-year-old girl was playing on an inflatable toy when the wind and strong tide swept her out to sea. Grabbing his paddleboard, he made his way out to her. Liam was able to bring her onto the board, but due to the conditions, couldn't return to shore. Both stayed on the board until they were rescued by the Troon lifeboat. Liam showed remarkable courage throughout the rescue, and the Coast Guard credited his quick actions as potentially life-saving. On the 16th of September 2020, off-duty officer Detective Constable Glyn Powell was nearby Leith Docks when he heard screams. A 3-year-old child had fallen into the water. Locals alerted her mother and the emergency services, and unsuccessful attempts were made to rescue her. Without hesitation, Glyn entered the water, pulling the child to safety. After providing emergency first aid, he felt a faint pulse and placed her in the recovery position. She was taken to hospital by emergency services and made a full recovery. Glyn showed remarkable bravery and undoubtedly saved the child's life. George Parsonage has been involved in river rescue and recovery work for over 40 years, providing a vital service to extremely vulnerable members of the public. The world-renowned Parsonage Society is part of the fabric of Glasgow. He has worked closely with the police and other emergency services in his role as first responder and with wide-ranging body recovery efforts. George has been involved in more than 2,000 rescues, devoting his time to assisting those in their time of need, the preservation of life, and providing some comfort to those who have lost loved ones.
Congratulations to all the recipients and your families, and thank you for your outstanding courage and bravery. We now move on to the Excellence Awards.
The Chief Constable's Excellence Awards. Greatest contribution to policing priorities. Operation Risbalet, Edinburgh City Division. A disturbing trend of Vietnamese nationals being identified as potential victims of human trafficking led to Edinburgh City Division establishing Operation Risbalet. This complex multi-agency investigation culminated in the arrest of 6 people who were actively involved in an organised network facilitating immigration offences across central Scotland. The operation ensured the safety of 17 vulnerable victims who may have never been identified and who have received appropriate support. This investigation tested and challenged existing strategies and partnership working practices across the country. Organised Crime, Counter-Terrorism and Intelligence, Specialist Crime Division. A Police Scotland strategy targeted serious organised crime groups that used encrypted criminal communications. One of the leading officers dedicated the final 4 years of his service to an investigation collaborating with the National Crime Agency and foreign and domestic policing partners targeting high-level criminality. In 2019, the officer died suddenly while seconded to the National Crime Agency in London. He never witnessed the success of the operation in which he invested such time and effort, and which resulted in 59 people being arrested in Scotland and significant amounts of drugs, cash and firearms being seized. The winner of the Greatest Contribution to Policing Priorities Award is Organised Crime, Counter-Terrorism and Intelligence, Specialist Crime Division. Equality Award. Scottish LGBTI Police Association, Corporate Services Division. The Scottish LGBTI Police Association has taken an innovative approach to ensure inclusivity for all. In conjunction with the Positive Action Team, the association held the first LGBTI-focused recruitment day in the UK, resulting in nearly 50% of attendees applying to join Police Scotland. Other UK forces have used this model for their recruitment events. Due to the work of the association, there has been a remarkable increase in membership and in engagement on social media channels, improving the reputation of Police Scotland as a diverse and inclusive employer. Detective Constables James Dainton and Alison Fraser, North East Division. Constables James Dainton and Alison Fraser have made a positive impact in their local community. Using his ability to sign, James arranged a series of deaf drop-in sessions where members of the community could come and communicate in a friendly, welcoming space. He collaborated with Aberdeen School for the Deaf, where he is an outstanding role model for young people there. Concurrently, Alison developed a training module improving officers' understanding of the deaf community and provided invaluable knowledge of how best to engage and communicate with the deaf community. The winner of the Equality Award is Detective Constable James Dainton and Detective Constable Alison Fraser, North East Division. Policing Partner of the Year. Ms. Cheryl Neal, Castle Rock, Edinburgh, Edinburgh City Division. Cheryl Neal is the Housing Management Team Leader for Castle Rock, Edinburgh. the landlord for 80 residential properties on Drummond Street in Edinburgh. The area had experienced a sustained increase in antisocial behaviour, with local residents reluctant to report their concerns. Cheryl and community police officers began an intensive programme of intervention and support activity. The team enhanced engagement with the residents, and despite the scale of the issues, Cheryl's enthusiasm, drive and collaborative approach led to positive results, with a substantial decrease in antisocial behaviour and increased well-being, trust and confidence amongst the locals. Non-fatal overdose partnership. Tayside Division. Scotland has the highest rate of drug-related deaths in Europe, with Tayside being particularly impacted. The Dundee-based Non-Fatal Overdose Partnership was formed to conduct holistic reviews of people who had survived an overdose. A framework was developed to improve inter-agency collaboration, follow-up and intervention. In the first 9 months, more than 440 incidents were discussed relating to 302 people. Each person was offered unique support to help break the cycle of drug misuse. This partnership has transformed the response to non-fatal overdoses and works tirelessly to reduce the risk of lives being lost. The winner of Policing Partner of the Year award is Miss Cheryl Neal, Castle Rock, Edinburgh, Edinburgh City Division. Service Improvement Award. Contact Assessment Model, CAM, project, C3 Division and Corporate Services Division. The Contact Assessment Model, CAM, was developed to assess the needs of the 3 million calls received by Police Scotland annually. This empowered our staff to assess and prioritise calls based on threat, risk, harm and vulnerability. The rollout of CAM was accelerated and adapted to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic. It now includes a mental health pathway that enables those in distress to speak directly to a mental health practitioner. CAM is a success due to the exceptional staff who assess each call, enabling incidents to be properly resourced and resolved. Strategic Engagement and Governance Coordination Unit, Corporate Services Division. The Strategic Engagement and Governance Coordination Unit was established to replace the inconsistent system of external engagement that existed previously. It is the single point of entry for key external stakeholder requests, such as those from the Scottish Parliament, and performs a coordination and liaison function for business areas throughout Police Scotland. It has enhanced our relationship and our reputation within the wider policing system across the UK. Those who serve in the unit are subject matter experts and invariably a source of excellent advice and invaluable assistance. The winner of the Service Improvement Award is Contact Assessment Model, CAM project, C3 Division and Corporate Services Division. Team of the Year. Mobile Working Training Team, Corporate Services Division. Mobile working is a key component of the digitally enabled policing programme, allowing officers to perform a number of tasks that would otherwise require them to return to a police station. The Mobile Working Training Team developed a suite of training products and a bespoke training programme. Over 100 officers were trained in the use of mobile devices and how to cascade that knowledge to their colleagues. The team tailored their training to each legacy crime recording system across Scotland and delivered an excellent product that has been an outstanding success. Dumfries CID and National Wildlife Crime Unit, Dumfries and Galloway Division and Specialist Crime Division. Dumfries CID and the National Wildlife Crime Unit began an investigation after an emerging threat was identified in Dumfries and Galloway. 5 birds of prey, including red kites and a buzzard, were found dead, having been poisoned at various locations throughout the Stewartry area. This proved extremely challenging due to the nature of the crime and the geography of the area. The team worked collaboratively to identify lines of inquiry, liaised with local organisations, and searched vast areas to obtain evidence. Due to their tenacity and expertise, the person responsible was identified and prosecuted. The winner of Team of the Year award is Dumfries CID and National Wildlife Crime Unit, Dumfries and Galloway Division and Specialist Crime Division. Police Officer of the Year: Detective Inspector Michael McCulloch, Specialist Crime Division. Detective Inspector Michael McCulloch was instrumental in the implementation of cyber kiosks across Police Scotland. They provide a triage capability that allows trained officers to assess the contents of a digital device for evidence, allowing police investigations to progress at a much earlier stage. Michael drove forward the work to resolve community and partner concerns and identified solutions to enhance the overall understanding of cybercrime. He took ownership of the training and devised a long-term communication strategy. Michael's actions were praised by communities, partners, and remarked upon positively by the Cabinet Secretary for Justice. Detective Sergeant Graham Dursley, Fife Division. Detective Sergeant Graham Dursley is a valued leader who has demonstrated an outstanding commitment to public service. Graham is an integral part of the non-recent child abuse investigation team. His inspired leadership and motivation led his team through the investigation of 113 child abuse cases in 1 year alone. In doing so, Graham has safeguarded victims and ensured offenders are brought to justice. His commitment, creativity, and consistent excellence in investigating sensitive, complex inquiries is testament to his incredible determination to deliver the highest standard of service to victims and to the wider public. The winner of the Police Officer of the Year award is Detective Inspector Michael McCulloch, Specialist Crime Division. Probationary Constable of the Year: Constable Louise Meffin, Greater Glasgow Division. Constable Louise Meffin is a response officer based at Maryhill Police Station in Glasgow. She joined Police Scotland in September 2018, and her investigative ability and resourcefulness have proved to be exemplary. Following her evidence at a trial in Glasgow Sheriff Court, the accused pled guilty, and the Procurator Fiscal was so impressed with the manner in which Louise gave evidence that she wrote to her supervisor commending Louise's professionalism. Louise has displayed initiative beyond her service and is an extremely hard-working officer who leads by example. Constable Amy Ritchie, Edinburgh City Division. Constable Amy Ritchie is a response officer based at Craigmillar Police Station in Edinburgh. She joined Police Scotland in March 2019 and excelled in her probationer training. Amy is a highly motivated, proactive officer and tackles all aspects of policing with professionalism and enthusiasm. Amy is the first to help colleagues, uses her innate initiative to solve problems, and can always be depended upon to complete her work to the highest standard. Amy has continually performed at a level which far exceeds every standard expected of an officer of her service. The winner of the Probationary Constable of the Year award is Constable Amy Ritchie, Edinburgh City Division. Police Member of Staff of the Year: Ms. Sheena Brennan, Corporate Services Division. Sheena Brennan has over 29 years' service and currently manages disclosure for Police Scotland. Sheena and her team implemented a demand-led resourcing model to ensure service levels were maintained throughout the pandemic. Despite a substantial increase in the demands on her team, Sheena ensured consistently high compliance rates were maintained. In preparation for COP26, she designed a bespoke package on UK and Scottish FOI legislation. In October 2019, Sheena represented Police Scotland in the Scottish Parliament, giving evidence to the Education and Skills Committee. She is an outstanding ambassador for Police Scotland. Ms. Catriona Ferry, Forth Valley Division. Catriona Ferry has excelled in her role as a domestic abuse liaison officer for over 20 years. She has successfully chaired multi-agency risk assessment conferences, MARAC, on numerous occasions. She is the local contact for 2 Asian women's groups, which operate in the Forth Valley area. and has established a close working relationship with Shakti Women's Aid. Catriona continually refreshes her knowledge, understanding and response to domestic abuse, and has attended numerous seminars focused on domestic abuse affecting the LGBTI community. She is an exceptionally dedicated and highly regarded public protection specialist. The winner of the Police Member of Staff of the Year award is Ms. Sheena Brennan, Corporate Services Division. Special Constable of the Year. Special Constable Stuart Anderson, Fife Division. Special Constable Stuart Anderson joined Police Scotland in June 2019. In the last 12 months, Stuart has volunteered almost 1,000 hours of his own time to serve the community of Fife. He was first Special Constable to lead a Misuse of Drugs Act operation in Fife, which resulted in the recovery of a significant amount of illegal drugs. Throughout his service, Stuart has engaged in a wide variety of incidents, often taking the lead. Stuart also serves as an adult volunteer with the Police Scotland Youth Volunteers, and his commitment and dedication are an example to others. Special Constable Lee McWhinney, Argyll and West Dunbartonshire Division. Special Constable Lee McWhinney joined as a Special Constable in September 2019 and has since volunteered over 1,000 hours to serve the communities of West Dunbartonshire. He supports the Police Scotland Youth Volunteer Programme and has undertaken training on the community asset approach. Lee also featured in various social media campaigns representing Police Scotland. Following reports of an assault on one of his colleagues, Lee immediately attended, was first on the scene and apprehended the violent male responsible. In December 2020, Lee fulfilled his ambition to become a police constable and began his training at Tullyallen. The winner of the Special Constable of the Year award is Special Constables Stuart Anderson, Fife Division, and Special Constable Lee McWhinney, Argyll and West Dunbartonshire Division. Police Scotland Unsung Hero Award. Constable William Diamond, Forth Valley Division. Constable Will Diamond has been a community police officer in Lochernhead since April 2013. Acting on community concerns regarding alcohol-fuelled antisocial behaviour, Will was instrumental in the introduction of bylaws to prohibit the consumption of alcohol near the lochside. He is an active member of the Killen Mountain Rescue Team and also the Mountain Rescue Coordinator for Forth Valley Division, reviewing all incidents to identify best practice and areas for improvement. His work ethic and commitment to public service prompted the Community Council to nominate him for the Stirling Council Provosts Award. Ms. Suzanne Carmichael, Specialist Crime Division. Suzanne Carmichael has over 33 years' service and is currently employed as the Homes Office Manager. Her enthusiasm, passion and expertise shine through in both her regular role and in her involvement in the development of new systems and bespoke training programmes. Suzanne is recognised as an expert in her field and has been at the forefront of several investigations. She undertook a reviewing officer's course before assisting in the review of significant and high-profile major investigations. Suzanne has consistently displayed a devotion to service and commitment to her colleagues that is truly outstanding. The winner of the Police Scotland Unsung Hero Award is Suzanne Carmichael, Specialist Crime Division. Wellbeing Award. Ms. Jackie Tyndall and Sergeant Sandra Fleming, Corporate Services Division. Jackie Tyndall and Sergeant Sandra Fleming have worked tirelessly to promote health and well-being throughout Police Scotland headquarters at Tullyallen, receiving successive bronze, silver and gold Healthy Working Lives awards. This involved capturing the views of the staff, setting up a working group, action plan and delivering a range of physical and psychological well-being events. They have ensured that the officers, staff and students at Tullyallen receive the help they need to optimise their well-being. Sandra assumed a new role at Dilmarnock, where, with support from Jackie, she ensured best practice identified at Tullyallen was rolled out. Inspector Gavin McCallum, Dumfries and Galloway Division. Inspector Gavin McCallum, recognising the impact the COVID-19 pandemic could have on physical and mental health, developed and coordinated a physical team challenge. This involved over 1,200 participants from across the West Command area, taking part in activities including running, cycling and walking. This proved hugely popular, involving the families of those serving, and mitigated the effect of isolation during the pandemic. Gavin maintained a strong focus on mental health, arranging group presentations with guest speakers and subject matter experts. Gavin continually seeks new opportunities to enhance the well-being of his colleagues. The winner of the Police Scotland Wellbeing Award is Jackie Tyndall and Sergeant Sandra Fleming, Corporate Services Division. And finally, the Chief Constable's Award.
The recipients of the Chief Constable's Award played a vital role in one of the most significant operations ever undertaken by police and law enforcement in the UK. The operation culminated in the dismantling of an encrypted global communication service used by criminals and enabled officers to seize millions of pounds worth of illegal substances, as well as illicit cash and firearms, while arresting dozens of individuals involved in serious criminality. It is my privilege to recognise Police Scotland's organised crime, counter-terrorism and intelligence teams as the winners of the 2020 Chief Constable's Award. Many congratulations. Today's awards have underlined that policing is relentless, and 2020 has truly been a year like no other. 2021 is going to present further challenges, including acute operational requirements for the COP26 Climate Change Summit and continued response to the pandemic and the implications of Brexit. Additional challenges will emerge in the weeks and months ahead, we know that, and policing will meet them with good faith, professionalism, humility and a dedication to public service. Our actions will be underpinned by our values: fairness, integrity, respect, and a commitment to upholding and enabling the human rights of everyone. I am confident, enthusiastic about the future because of the quality of the people within policing. And that's been vividly demonstrated today. I know that within Police Scotland, we share a purpose and mission to help people and improve the lives of everyone in our communities. As Chief Constable, I thank you for your contribution to that mission and all that you do to help the people of Scotland. To the recipients and their families, I offer my warmest congratulations and highest regards. Please take some time today to celebrate and recognise your achievements and success. Many congratulations. Thank you.